was close there. Those almost past the point of fall damage. Hehe, outrunning fireballs. Fun times. And just for the sake of it. Derp-a-derp. Well, yeah. We should theoretically be safe, unless... Nope, they didn't improve the game. As soon as something is off-screen, it ceases to exist. It will never walk back onto screen. Ah, this game. The thing that sort of negates that rule is the fact that, like, if I were to switch away to these guys up here, Eric would continue? I guess that's the thing they changed? Okay, that is a place where the Super NES version differs. In the Super NES version, if you leave a Viking in immediate peril, he will be taking all the damage even though he's not on screen. So I guess in this version, if somebody is dying, you can just, switch Vikings and maybe possibly save them? Kinda weird, but whatever. Three cavemen, oh dear. And also, slopes are your worst enemy. Due to how the sword attacks, whether you are above a person on a slope or below, you're not gonna have a good time trying to actually hit whatever it is. Oh yeah, it freezing when not on that character is definitely a common trick. I was just saying, in comparison, it does it here, but it didn't do it in the Super NES version. That was the main gist of that. So we can do better than that, thank you. Okay, now let's actually use Olaf for once. As you can see, I don't really use Olaf all that much. Unless... you know, there are very specific situations, like right there, that will be a specific situation where I know I'm going to need him to block Eric from taking fireball damage, but for the most part, I leave Beliog to fight on his own and Eric to run and jump around on his own. And Olaf I just bring along at the end. So that was basically pointless, huzzah! Yeah, let's bring Olaf in for this. Once again, just bring him in at points where excessive damage would be likely. And no, there is no secret there. Let's see, and yep. Okay, the Beliard can go all the way to the top. And he can go to the right side, where he's going to eventually need to go. Well, actually... no, we don't need another piece of meat. Do we need to bring him down here? Maybe. We'll find out. Let's do some Eric stuff. I'll be making use of a lot of speed button in this game, though. Pretty much, there's a lot of things that move way slower than I care for. Mainly bubbles. There's going to be a lot of stages that have moving bubbles just like this. But also elevators and moving platforms. And moving enemies as well. Wow. Didn't know we could, basically take 1.5 steps and do the, charging smash there. It's pretty nifty to know. Also, this is the other thing. You can grab the ladder at the very end. Again, momentum! It's not actually a thing. Yeah. Oh, right. Duh. That one almost got me. It gets me almost every time, actually. Because right on down here, I mean, I don't even really need to do this. It's just a thing you can do. That lowers that platform. Which, if you get Eric trapped on this side of the platform, there's no way to get him out. Likewise, if you decide, oh, do-do-do-do, then he's stuck and there's no way to get him out. Basically, platform is totally unmovable and indestructible, so just gotta get it out of the way, and then you can go ahead, and if you so desire, just go ahead and make use of your smart bomb. You know, if you managed to actually grab it. Not that it's remotely necessary, but anyways. I can actually only think of one time in the entire game. 1 second. Yeah, so-so. Not all the jokes are winners. There's a lot of great ones, though. But, yes, I can think of exactly one spot in the game where a smart bomb is completely necessary in order to move on. Outside of that, they are purely for, you know, partly for fun, partly for sort of reducing difficulty. You know, just to, make the things a little bit easier. Let's see. That's okay. We can do it like that. Wait for him to turn around, and 1 and 2. A little bit of a leap of faith there, insofar as... Actually, it's, worse here on the Game Boy Advance. It's not as bad as this on the Super NES, insofar as, being able to see when the next bubble appears. But yeah, Eric gets to... Is there another bubble? There is another bubble, okay. Eric gets to hop lightly over, Olaf gets to float over and skip most of the bubbles, and Beliog is slow as hell. It has to play it super safe. Not that you don't have to be safe with Olaf as well, but still. Quite a lot easier, to say the least. That would have been a bit better if I'd remembered A instead of B to use the sword. Again, Super NES, B was sword and Y was arrows. sake of it. Can I get this with him? Yes, good. That'll make things a bit oh, okay. I was gonna say a bit easier up ahead, but, you know, can't do much about that. Alright. Oh, can I make it? I don't think I can make that. Oh well. We can make it like that. So yeah, Baliog is quite the killing machine. That one I like. Also, this one, the, password for it in the original was Volcano, and this is the last stage of the Caveman area. We are already just about done with the Cavemen. There's that handy little thing, which means we don't need to get into that one. And we'll just go ahead and free her. Hoochie coochie caveman girl. Also, oh yeah, just remembered a thing. Yeah, she has psychic powers, and she turns off the fireballs. I didn't need to have Olaf be standing guard there. I could have freed her and then gone and done that. But that's okay. We just did things a bit early. So I think that's intended for Olaf to get down to. So we're just not gonna bother with that, we're just gonna go over this way. Yeah, I don't care about an apple. Oh, derp. Let's get that key back. And obviously, to give things from one Viking to another, they have to be standing next to each other. So they can't just, send an item across the, reaches of time and space. They have to actually hand things to one another. So that big ol' steak. And we can ignore that pair of cavemen entirely. And there's a radish over there. Possibly a beet. Let's see if we can manage this. Extremely easily. Awesome. Yeah, that was kind of silly. Now I have to deal with him. Yeah, I'll go with that. I was just double checking, and holding the R button and releasing it does nothing, holding the L button does still switch characters. And Olaf is back at the beginning, as always. At least he actually made it a couple steps beyond the starting point this time. And we can actually use Olaf's shields to protect ourselves from the fireballs. But, yeah, that's okay. And off we go again. And that's the end of that running gag. For 2 of these stages, they had Olaf mentioning how he thinks he's going to be sick. And then he doesn't do it anymore, so that's okay. So here we are in Egypt, the 3rd of the areas, and with that we are going to, you know, put this into the unfinished folder, and return to it at a later date. Also, I do notice that for this Egypt area, they cut off the intro instead of a later bit. It is still... there was still a bit chopped off at the end as well, but yeah, noticing that immediately, so we get to the better part of the song sooner, which I am totally okay with. Anyways, yes, go ahead and return to this at some point later.